Explosions, gunfire, and military aircraft rocking Caracas in the early hours of the morning as the U.S. military staged an audacious attack in Venezuela's capital, all to overthrow the country's longtime authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, who is now in U.S. custody. It marks an incredible and dangerous culmination of events after months of U.S. military buildup around the region. And it appears U.S. President Donald Trump wouldn't have had it any other way.
And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military working with U.S. law enforcement successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. While many Venezuelans are celebrating Maduro's ousting, there is international concern and condemnation over the American use of force to remove another country's leader. The Trump administration now faces accusations of violating international and American laws to pursue its own interests, especially as new questions are raised over the real motivations for the operation. We'll get to that in a moment, but we begin our coverage tonight with Candace Cole on what unfolded and the uncertainty ahead for Venezuela.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
U.S. President Donald Trump detailing the capture of now deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in the early morning hours Saturday at their home on a military base in Caracas. This photo posted by Trump shows a blindfolded Maduro aboard the USS Iwo Jima en route to New York, where he and his wife now face multiple charges related to narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, and weapons.
He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward.
Maduro has been wanted by the U.S. since 2020 under Trump's first administration. The allegations in this unsealed indictment say Maduro used his illegally obtained authority to transport thousands of tons of cocaine into the United States and gave diplomatic cover to drug traffickers, and alleges Maduro has ties to multiple drug cartels dating back to 1999.
We arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
After months of tracking Maduro's movements and whereabouts, General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, says Trump gave the order to take Maduro at 10:46 Friday night. He says the carefully executed plan left no casualties, but one of the helicopters did come under fire during the operation. Maduro's capture comes after months of military airstrikes on suspected drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, widely reported to be transporting drugs to Europe, not the U.S., as Trump alleges. And last month, the seizure of a second oil tanker off Venezuela's coast, sparking more speculation that Trump's motivation is more about oil than limiting drug imports. But some think this is more about Trump justifying his domestic agenda.
I think more importantly, people like Stephen Miller and other architects of Trump's immigration policy that have very much so advocated for conflict with Venezuela to be able to justify deportations of Venezuelans in the United States using the Alien Enemies Act. I would say oil, I think, is important, but I don't think any of this has been about a clear, cohesive, coherent strategy on the part of the Trump administration.
Now demonstrations have sparked around the world, with some having mixed reactions here in Washington.
I'm from Colombia, and I think that's awesome. I have a few friends from Venezuela, and I think that's I'm happy for them, It's a good thing that happened.
I mean, obviously, he was not a good guy, but at the same time, the legality, what type of precedent that sets, because then that kind of means just anyone that's got the power, they can just do whatever they want.
Venezuela's Vice President Delcy Rodriguez is now demanding the release of Maduro and his wife. President Trump has not said who will run the country in the meantime, but French President Emmanuel Macron is calling for Edmundo Gonzalez, Maduro's opponent in the 2024 election, to be installed as quickly as possible. Candace Cole, Global News, Washington.